All right. So if you made it this part of the lecture, we'll now be just doing a interaction with a person special and close to me, a little bit about our subject topic here of asthma. So we'll start with you introducing yourself, first and last name, your relationship to me.
My name is Byron McGlathery, and I am the father of Micah McGlathery.
All right. So thank you for being on today. And so we'll stick with our topic of asthma. And the first question I ask you is, how long have you had asthma?
Uh, from the first time that I really was diagnosed with it, it probably was around 2013 that I had to go into the doctor's office because of some respiratory issues. And um, at that time, it was just upper respiratory infection and sinus blockage. And they gave me some treatment and medication to treat it. And then after that, the doctor more or less said that it seems to be the symptoms of asthma. So I guess that's about 2013 was about when I first was diagnosed
Okay. So
with the
yeah.
condition.
So thank you. You hit on some good points, and we know that asthma could be early onset or late onset. So you would consider your asthma as late onset in this stage of your life.
Very much so. I was really surprised because I always prided myself on my ability to endurance, especially respiratory endurance. And so when it got to a point where I was having difficulty with sustaining the activities because of having issues with, getting enough air in, I was really surprised. So, yeah, it was definitely late onset.
Okay. So did you have a family history of asthma, or do you know any people, maybe in your immediate family or extended family, that had asthma or severe asthma and allergies combination?
I think that allergies and maybe it may have existed, but as far as actually knowing the medical history of family members that is out was outside my immediate home and other bloodline history of asthma or one matter of fact of any condition was not the information that we just sat around and talked about. You know, so and so has asthma, or so and so has high blood pressure, or heart disease, or whatever the case may be. I can't really address that part of it of other members in the family having asthma.
All right. So, asthma we know is sometimes triggered by symptoms, whether they're environmental, or it could be food or nut allergies. So, what would be some of the biggest triggers that you face with your asthma?
Well, I think after going and to the allergist and having an allergy test done, and finding out that the things that I was actually allergic to that would trigger asthma was almost none at all. But I think that definitely, uh, pollen in the air. Um, I think the change of climate or temperatures from cold to super cold, or I perform better when it's warm or hot. As far as being able to keep my airways open, and definitely out of the season of pollination. But it's getting ready. It's starting now. And it'll go on through to June with this pollination, and so this is definitely a critical time of the year for me that I'll start to experience more symptoms of asthma or some respiratory blockage.
Yeah, so you kind of segue into one of my next questions, and just briefly describe some of your symptoms and what they might be. And do you consider them long-term symptoms, short-term, or is it episodic, or is it kind of depend?
I think the symptoms that I experience mostly would be sinus drainage, us upper respiratory blockage, mucus um, uh, build up, and so those particular things, shortness of breath, but usually, which when I get the sinus blockage and the congestion, uh, then usually the symptoms of your breathing kind of will reduce itself. But the I think as far as the major symptoms of the asthma, and then uh, controlling it. Now, let me. You didn't ask me about the control that you of it.
No, but that's good. That was my next question. Is and your control or some of those medications or things that you might do that you find helpful in the control of, like you said, the chest tightness or that mucus
Okay.
drainage that blocks that airway or passageway. So, what are some of those things? If you could name the medications, or you could say any other lifestyle changes or things that you do.
Yeah. Well, basically the medications that uh, that I am on currently, I use Singulair, or one of the medications. I use Trelegy, which is helps supposedly help with the blockage of the congestion and drying up the sinuses and those things. But and then I just have rescue inhalers uh, for emergency situations. And uh, I think for me, something that truly helps me is to be able to get up and walk and exercise a little bit, so that I can get that whatever it is that's in my air passages to clear up, and that helps me with throughout the day. Now, also do sinus rinses in the evening time, which it helps a lot with cleaning out those sinus areas and my throat, and which helps me at night, because at nighttime breathing is it can be a challenge if you are clogged up, and still having the shortness of breath, or the constriction in the airway. So to use those rinses and basically those are things. And I guess if you um, for the most part, um, after, or early morning routine of maybe doing some exercises and clearing out the sinuses, usually it sustains me throughout the day, and I don't have to use a rescue inhaler, or um, take any other medications, and it's just kind of like uh, I make sure that I try to stay on a regular schedule of time when I take those. Like the Singulair and the Trelegy, I like to take those at nighttime, and to help with nighttime breathing, and also the rinses I like to do at night. So basically, I do those medications at night, and I rely on my exercise and uh, activities outside, and just basically trying to expel anything out of air passages from either coughing or blowing my nose, or whatever the case may be with that.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate your feedback and your information in this process, and just being able to show us just how someone handles their case by case basis of asthma. Thank you.
All right, thank you.